Hello. I'm a third-generation AX400 android. My name is Kara. My name is Kara. I am one of them.
I have a background in the music industry. I was a composer, and I started working for TV series and commercials and films and whatsoever. But I was also an avid gamer. So I worked creating music for games for years, and then I started making friends, and I started writing the game I was dreaming of playing, and that was Omicron 20 years ago. My name is David Cage. I'm the writer and director at Quantic Dream of our upcoming game called Detroit.
Some people are asking, have androids become a threat to our security?
This is a night our people will remember.
Oh yeah, I played on Atari, I played on Amiga, I played on all these old systems, I played all the Sierra titles in the old days, I played all the LucasArts old titles, I played all the Cinemaware. I was a big fan of adventure games in the old days, and like many people my age, I was fascinated by Blade Runner from Westwood. It was really something really unique that really showed me that you could tell a very complex story on this medium. Actually, my goal creating this kind of experiences for 20 years is to put you in the shoes of the character, and I want to put you in a story. I think that's very unique to this medium, because you can really feel like you are the characters, you share their emotions, you make choices that will have consequences on the story, and that's something that only games can do. Well, you know, there have been so many great stories about mankind fighting against AI to save the world, blah, 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 where the AI are the bad guys. And I wanted to tell a story that would be very different, where they would be maybe the good guys and maybe mankind would be the bad guys per se. It was also interesting to talk about androids as a new form of life, a new form of intelligence that starts to have emotions, and just see how humanity would react to this. I would say the most important thing for me was to create this huge tree structure, having really branching narratives where, depending on the choices you make, the story changes. And there are very simple ways of doing this, like you can do smoking mirrors and create the illusion that there is a choice, but actually there's no real choice. We didn't want to play with this. We really wanted to do the real thing and embrace the idea that we would create maybe branches that maybe 10% only of the players will see, because they will make different choices. It's very interesting to see how people play their stories, how different they are. The player becomes the co-writer, the co-director, the co-actor of the experience. It's really an experience that we create together. Me as a writer creating this narrative landscape, and the player making his choices, and by doing so telling his own story. Well, you know, when you want to tell a story in an interactive experience, you have different ways of doing it, and you can do it through cutscenes. But that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to merge interactivity and narrative and make sure that the story was told through players' actions and not through cutscenes. In order to do this, we needed to find new solutions, new answers. One of them was to let you walk and speak at the same time, which few games do. And in this hostage situation, it was very important, because when you talk to a hostage taker, it's part of the game to move slowly, don't scare him, and at the same time talk, keep his attention, and at the same time look around as you progress and make sure that you notice everything. It was very interesting to see how we could transfer this feeling that we all know, that we all seen in movies, how we can turn them into a game. It was important for us that Detroit is anticipation and not sci-fi. We didn't want to invent a world that would be too far away from now, where there would be flying cars and things we can't really relate to. We wanted a world that feels real, that feels plausible and concrete. So we chose to have the game taking place 20 years from now, and the rule that we gave ourselves was not to use any technology that doesn't exist somewhere today, at least in a lab.
Humans are such a fragile machine. They break down so quickly. All this effort to keep them going.
Marcus is an android that was bought by a painter, an old painter called Carl, and he lost his legs, so he cannot walk anymore, and Marcus is going to help him.
Show me your arm, please, Carl.
No.
Carl.
They will develop a relationship, but something dramatic will happen, and Marcus will have to live with his own destiny, up to becoming the leader of a revolution. Kara is another android. She's supposed to take care of the house.
You do the housework, the washing, you cook the meals.
But she's in a house with a violent man who is the single father of a little girl. And they will quickly understand that they are not safe where they are, and they will decide to escape together. This little human girl and this android who have nothing in common except they dream of being free. And the third character is called Connor. Connor is a prototype that was designed to help human investigators on crime scenes.
My name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife.
Connor is a little bit special. He was designed to investigate on deviants, and he is really a machine. He was really designed to investigate on them, and nothing is more important to him than accomplishing his mission. Are you going to end the game with Connor being a machine or not? I mean, it will depend on your choices.
You can't kill me! I'm not alive!
The most important thing for me is that the player feels something when he plays. I want him to, or her, to feel emotions, have empathy for the character and share what they feel. That's the most important thing. The second most important thing, especially for Detroit, is probably to have players comparing their stories and realizing how different they are. And that's really a pleasure when I meet players who come to me and tell me about their story, and did you do this, did you see that, oh no, I did this, I did that. It's something that you can only experience in games, because if you watch a film, we watch the same film. Here we can get different stories and different walkthroughs depending on the choices that we made. In Detroit we felt we wanted a different approach where we could actually show you what you played, show you your path in the narrative structure, so you understand what you did but also what you missed. So I really encourage players to play their first walkthrough without cheating, without just continuing with the consequences of your choices, because this is going to be your real story. But if you decide to do so, you can go back at any point and replay just a scene or even half a scene.
But enough about me. Let's see if you have any talent. Give it a try.
Be passionate about what you're doing, work very hard, listen to people, but also listen to what you strongly believe in, because the truth is often in between. You can't just listen to yourself, you can't only listen to others. You need to find your own way, because that's the only way you can tell your own story.
This is our story.